votes. In the race for the 8th Congressional District on the Democratic primary side, it is very close. Rick Crossan now has taken the lead at 36% of the vote over Mark Scheffler and Katrina DeVille.
And whoever gets this nomination for the Dems will go against Republican incumbent Tony Wied. Mary Piacenti joining us live from Green Bay with the Crossan campaign, and she has more right now.
Cammie, the race for the 8th Congressional District Democratic nomination has been tight, but as you can hear behind me, here at Titletown Brewing at Rick Crossan's party, vibes could not be higher. Scheffler was in the lead for most of the night, actually, but Crossan just took the lead. Spirits are high here. Crossan walking around, talking with voters, talking with supporters here who have shown up for him and his campaign. We actually spoke with Crossan earlier in the night before the polls even closed, and he said he was confident in the work that he has done in this campaign, and he added he did everything he could and left everything on the table.
We put our heart and soul into this campaign because it's important. We're focused on affordability, accountability, and results, and I believe that the message is resonating with the people of Northeast Wisconsin.
You can hear the crowd behind me. They're chanting. They are excited, and we are going to keep you updated on this race as we get more results. But for now, reporting live in Green Bay, Mary Piacenti, Action 2 News.
Mary, thank you. Republican Tony Wied, as we mentioned, ran in that primary unopposed.
He is looking for a second term in Congress. Our Samantha Cavalli is at our digital news desk with the latest from Congressman Wied.
Yeah, Chris, well, as Mary had just mentioned, this is just too close to call. Nobody and nothing has been confirmed yet, as after the polls have been closed for just 2 hours, nothing confirmed as to who Tony Wied is going to go up against in the general election this coming November. Now, even though he did run unopposed in this Republican primary, the congressman says that he's already looking ahead to November, seeking a second term in Washington. Now, he says his fall campaign will focus on the record he's built in office, including tax policy, border security, the farm bill, and what he says is a $12.4 million in infrastructure funding for Northeast Wisconsin. Now, Wied also plans to highlight the tax cuts for working families that he says were delivered under the Trump administration.
I think people are very excited about the way the economy is going. I mean, we had some of the largest tax cuts for working families in American history. We delivered. I mean, whether that's no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. We had the largest deduction in taxes for Social Security for those that are on Social Security, senior citizens and so forth.
And Wied says that no matter what Democrat comes out of the primary later this evening, they're going to have to make a case. They're going to have to make a case for themselves for their votes, like he had mentioned. We talked about it earlier today as well, but he will be back on the campaign trail tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. where he'll be right here in Green Bay, and he'll actually be joining the now Republican nominee for Governor Tom Tiffany right here in Green Bay. So we'll send it back to you guys in the studio. Cammie, Chris.
Samantha.